It's a pleasure to welcome back to the program a good friend, Emmy Award winner, great host, now add author to the list. Out of the Pocket, Kirk Herbstreit's book with our friend Gene Wojciechowski, a tremendous writer, joins us. Want to talk book, Herbie, but first, we got week one, and man, in terms of a list of games, we'd be excited no matter what. But this feels like an awfully long list of games to be excited about. I'm going to ask you the question I often do. If the bus TV works on one channel for one window and you get one game you're able to watch, where you landing this Saturday?
That game I'm actually calling. I'm not just saying that because I'm calling it, but how often do you get to see two top five powerhouses play each other on the opening weekend? To see Clemson with a new quarterback and DJ Uiagalelei. I mean, he steps into those shoes of Trevor Lawrence, and before that, Deshaun Watson. And now what can he do? It's his turn. He gets the keys. And you got Georgia. I mean, Georgia Bulldogs fans, they feel that this is their year. JT Daniels and the defense that they have, the playmakers they have. We'll learn a lot about both teams. And I think it's a lot of fun when we get those heavyweight matchups week one.
It's fun, those intersectionals, and you've got all year to think about that night in Charlotte, and you'll be there Saturday night. And you lead to something, Herbie, that I wanted to ask you about. Clemson with Lawrence is one of the 4 playoff teams, and all of them, Herbie, are replacing their quarterbacks from last year. Which team do you have the most faith in the quarterback to keep them in the neighborhood of where they've been? Because they're all ranked in the top 10, so there's not an expected drop-off, but who do you have the most belief in early?
I would normally say Alabama, but I would say with Sark moving on to Texas and Bill O'Brien coming back from the NFL back to college, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bama starting Saturday against Miami lean on the defense and being just smart, efficient on offense. I really think that Ohio State has a chance to be dynamic. I mean, Justin Fields, in my opinion, best quarterback to ever lace him up in Columbus at the shoe. I think he's the best that's ever played there, and he's off to the NFL for bigger and better things. But C.J. Stroud steps in, and the thing is, it's not just Stroud, it's the Ryan Day scheme, how he works with quarterbacks, Haskins before that, then Fields, now he has Stroud. The receiver room, my gosh, it's scary what they have. I mean, Olave and Garrett Wilson get most of the attention, but they're like 5 or 6 guys that would probably play almost anywhere in the country. So it's what he has to work with, his ability, and then Ryan Day's scheme that I think gives him the advantage that I think he could hit the ground running.
I was just thinking back, though, like best ever to lace him up in Columbus. There was a guy that wore number 4 back in the day. I feel like I saw him run about 80 yards in the Metrodome against Minnesota once. I don't know if Fields ever went that far. I'm just saying. I'm just, you can.
Just saying.
I'm just, you can put it on the YouTube. It's right there. It's right there. Another game, Herbie, I want to ask about Saturday, just because you and I aren't hyperbole guys, but I don't think it's as hyperbolic to say that this is the most important game Chip Kelly has had as the head coach at UCLA. Look, he was the guy at Oregon. And we know, you go to the NFL and then, the bloom's off the rose. Okay, well, now he's got a chance at UCLA, a team who's played a game against an LSU team who, as we know, has got a world of talent, but they're coming off a year they just want to forget. I just wonder, how does the benefit of the 1 week playing for UCLA maybe give them, the true puncher's chance against LSU?
Yeah, I mean, the guys on the set on game day kind of give me a hard time about UCLA because before they played Hawaii, I was like, look out, Chip, 4th year. He's got a quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson who knows the system. He's got 26 starts under his belt. He's got some skill. He's got a great tight end. And the defense, I think, is going to be better. And they blow Hawaii out, and I'm like, okay, fellas, look out. And then, of course, they're all like, here comes LSU.
Exactly.
But you could not be more right about LSU needs a fast start. Remember the Mississippi State game? I think they got off the rails. I think if you watch them really closely, the effort wasn't there. They looked disinterested a lot of times. No worse way to start after a year like that than to travel all the way across the country and lose to UCLA. So there's a lot on the line there for LSU, but just as much, in my opinion, for UCLA. I think they're tired of being a punchline. They want to show that the Pac-12 can play ball with the big boys. So this is a big opportunity for Chip and for this team to show that they in fact can play with some of the upper tier teams in the country.
Conversation with Herbie, which we taped yesterday, will continue a little later. We dive in on his book. You'll enjoy hearing about that. As for the book out in Vegas. 5 teams plus 750 or shorter to win the title. Nobody else shorter than 40-1. Alabama the favorite, plus 260 according to Caesars Sportsbook. Only program in the last 15 years to repeat as national champs. Roll Tide, repeating as title winners in 2012. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.